What's up, YouTube? Desertmaverick here, and I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I figured it was about time that we actually go ahead and make a video regarding the issues at hand. We're going to do another State of the Game, number 5, and with that, we're going to get into a couple of topics real quick regarding the things that have been going on in the game since our last State of the Game, and I did threaten to stop spending money in more divisions if certain conditions weren't met. So, in the last video, we talked about what I would do if a certain thing wasn't met for um, 2B coming out. And that thing is that she needed to have a pity. She needed to have some way of getting her, if you spent a certain amount of biz, at least, on her banner or in medals, like they have done with numerous other characters in the game. And the biggest milestone pusher for that was, we as a community, we kind of stand together, at least us in the Twitch community, we kind of stand together and we really try to keep our community strong, and we want to keep that community strong. Unfortunately, Gummy just doesn't want that to happen in some instances. So, like with Final Fantasy X, not having any pity banners whatsoever for Yuna or Auron, it ultimately led to having somebody leave, a couple of people leave the game, especially like people that are cherished in our Twitch community, that we enjoyed having their company and streams, etc., quitting the game because they just couldn't get Yuna, and they couldn't stay competitive the way that they like to stay competitive. And as I said, and I'm not really going to get too much of an argument over it, but the fact of the matter is that we as gotcha gamers know, you know what we're getting into when we play a gotcha game. There's always a risk of chance, right? But that doesn't mean that there can't be boundaries that have a particular catch-all after a certain amount has been used resource wise. um and there's still that risk, though, that there's that risk that you, like with the 2000 medals that you see here for buying TV, that still requires 40,000 Visior, which is no small number still, but it's way better than like the 100,000 that people are having to put in just to get a unit sometimes, or even in some instances just not walking away with it at all. And that's one of the biggest problems that I have. So them putting this in here was one of my stipulations for me actually spending any more money in this game. And it's not because I wanted to be, I really didn't, even though I do have her. But I was only going to go to one pity with her, and I ended up getting her that way. But this is just for people that wanted to be, and they wanted to have her, and they were excited for this collaboration, and they wanted to have her, and they've been saving up to get her. This is for them. My want was for them to be able to get to be, and not have to quote unquote sell their house or get a second mortgage to get her. This is a fair thing, and a lot of gotcha games adapt to that because how are you going to keep a player base? Well, you gotta make it to where, like, especially with limited collaborations, that units have a sort of safety net to them, because people save up for these events, especially with the way that we are between JP and Global. We already know when a collaboration is coming months in advance, so people could start saving up for it. The next big one right now is Final Fantasy VII, and that one is going to be another big one that people save up for. And the fact that JP, we already know in JP that they have a safety net for Cloud, means that people can save up and know that they can get Cloud if they have at least 40,000 viz to pull on Cloud's banners. Now, the biggest thing that we're going to move on to here is that the EX system. We had anniversary update, of course. We got the EX system, and the biggest thing that I have a problem with the EX system is the lack of Blossoms of Paradise. All right, so I'm going to show y'all something here in my unit formation. So you'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 120 units. I have 2 115 units, and I've been working on Lyrt as well. Got her EX a little bit, and I will show you something else real quick. I currently have in my possession, I believe it is 6 blossoms left. Now I have bought some of the blossom bundles, and but the problem is this. All right, so I have 6 of these blossoms here, but look how many shards I have, broadstones I have. There is a kind of gross imbalance to the blossom system compared to what they throw at us for broadstones. They've been throwing an absolute metric ton of EX broadstones at us, but nowhere near the amount needed to work on units themselves through the blossoms. So like with this right here, I could just make another another UR-EX unit and max them out, but that still leaves me with 2 rainbow broadstones. Um, and yeah, I could go in and purchase another $80 bundle, but that's just going to give me another EX broadstone to go with the 6 blossoms that I get from it. So the problem that I have with this right now is the absolute limiting factor on how many blossoms we get a month out of the red rooms. I think the red room should be set to 2 a month, or the rooms themselves should be set to 2 a month, because there are periods of where you will run in red rooms, or you'll run the level 6 stages of Alchrists, and you'll on a double day, and you'll get that one blossom to drop, but you can't get the other one because you're limited to 1 a month. I think they need to kind of up that to 2 a month for those, and they kind of need to start offering more blossoms that aren't ridiculously expensive. And the reason I say that is last week we had a thing in the shop, a bundle in the shop that was 1K or 3K paid viz for 3 blossoms and then a bunch of other crap. And the other stuff is nice to have, but the real reason for buying it would be to get the blossoms. But when you start putting things in a perspective, you start to realize that some things just don't work. Namely, I will say, is this. I've already bought it because I wanted the I bought the pack for it because I wanted the Magicite for 3-starring Tetra, which I did. But I'll show you something here. This Esper Awakening pack. So it comes with 10 Broadstones and a bunch of Magicite. This pack 2 or 3 weeks ago was 5K paid viz, and I almost guarantee you nobody bought it because it was a trap as all get out. So the next week they put this in here. This was in here last week. This is just a new one where it's now 2K and it's not paid viz. So with that, as you can see, by people speaking with not purchasing it, they were forced to change the package itself to a more affordable and not paid banner here. But when they had the very first week that they had the Medina banner, when she got her EX, they had a 3-step up that included her and Gilgamesh because they were the new EX units. And the very first step was a 1K for 5 unit summon, but it came with a Blossom of Paradise, and that was with free or paid viz. You know, it was a free viz banner that you could pull on for 1K for a Blossoms of Paradise. So you're grossly getting a lot less for what you really want out of those particular groupings. And I think it's just a bad reflection on Gummy right now and their marketing team, because we all want Blossoms of Paradise for EXing units. Everybody does, and everybody wants a fair way to get an access to them. However, the 3K paid for it does not justify the 1K, and then 5 units. You got 5 units on that pull as well, for that they had during the Medina era. So their prior actions for how they wanted to present a particular item does not bode well for future ones when you put it behind paid biz instead of regular biz, and then you also add in a bunch of stuff that people may not want or need. Because let's face facts. Outside of outside of like red room stuff, a lot of the stuff for EX is actually quite easy to get. Like the statues are easy to get. The red outcrest for each element is easy to get. The only other harder thing to get would be the tablets. But I mean, if you spent a Saturday just running red rooms, or even just running in red rooms with people that are running them for you, then you can easily get as many tablets as needed to fully EX a unit. But the hardest thing right now is just those blossoms of paradise. They're the real chokehold in the whole thing, and every class or every rarity needs them for their EX. So you have all of these EX options, but you don't have the blossoms to work those options to fruition. And I think that is the biggest problem right now that I have with this game, as far as EX is concerned. And I know there's going to be some people that may, speak in the comments and say, well, you're not supposed to be able to EX everything. And I understand that. You're not supposed to be able to EX everything right away. I don't expect that to be something that is possible. However, I will say this, that there needs to be some kind of balance in what you are working on and what you are given at any given time. Like, even if you just went with URs right now, they're giving out far more broadstones than you can max on an EX character. And that's kind of an issue. And I think there's a couple of people that are in the community that are that kind of feel the same way as well, when it comes to what the balance should be for things. I'm not saying they need to litter us with a bunch of blossoms of paradise, but at least make it kind of fair and balanced for the things that people are going to work on. Because, like, the thing is nobody's going to really, like, nobody that has limited resources is going to EX like an MR unit. They're going to EX UR units. It's kind of the same thing, the same process that people had to run into when it came to, are they going to level UR units to 99, or are they going to level MR units to 99? Especially before we got all of the extra things that allowed us to awaken MR and SR units without using rainbow spheres or rainbow fragments. People were just going to level up their UR units. They weren't going to level MR units. And I mean, the same thing was the same thing in JP. They weren't leveling MR units because the resources and all that stuff that were needed to just level up a UR units, and UR units were just better overall, and like 98% of situations. So with that, I think that there just needs to be a little bit more of a push for the blossoms than they're currently giving out right now. And I think eventually they might make that kind of change, but I do think that this is something that they need to start considering now, as they keep pushing out rainbow broadstones, like here, a rainbow broadstone for 4 paid viz. But in all of this 4 paid viz stuff, none of them have any blossoms of paradise. It's all really good stuff, but it also has 0 blossoms. So it's all this stuff that can help you EX units, but nothing that can help you fully EX them because there's no blossoms. I think the other thing that I want to talk about is the in the way way that they have of getting in the way of players and their ability to get things done quicker. And I think the biggest thing about that I do not like is the equipment system. So let's just say I want to change out Seymour's sword here, right? And I want to put, this Osapoon +2 on him, right? I go to equip, and normally it would just equip it and go straight back. But no, we've got this screen that is showing the changes from one piece of equipment to the other. Now, this I have a fundamental issue with, because, like, the thing is if you look here, you could just like select, if I select this here, you know, they could just put in here what the changes are compared to what you're swapping out for right here. They could just put the information right in here, and then we'd be fine. Then you can just hit equip, and then you don't have to worry about this extra button. But like, it adds an extra layer, it adds extra time, and it's the same for everything unless you're putting in the equipment for the first time, or not even for the first time. Look, see, like that. So like, the thing is it just adds more time. It becomes annoying because it's already long enough to put things into characters slots. And I guess you could say that in a lot of instances, like, we have the um, the quick gear option in the units information, but I don't like using that, because the stats show on the character's card when you're going through them, and also it's not always the same that you're going to want that equipment on that character, and you're going to have to change it anyways. So I think they just need to kind of do away with that kind of system, or make an enhancement to where it just shows what the pluses are. Like here, it could just say plus 408, plus 4, plus 3, plus 14, because none of these stats are on my piece of equipment that I've got on, or the plus 4 or the 408, or it could be the difference between, with the katana on that I have on with him, because of course it has HP on it. It's just those things that they could do to streamline the system, make it easier without causing us to do more clicks. And the other thing that I kind of want to talk about that is more time consuming is this. All right, so when you're in a unit and you're in their equipment tree, right, or their ability tree, all right, and you want to go from here all the way down to assault field, you just click on assault field, and then you click enhance, and it enhances it takes everything all the way down to assault field, and it counts for all the JP that's in it. However, when you get up into the EX side of the board, you get, if I have everything leveled up and I just want to click on linear spear shot here and then click enhance and unlock everything, if I have everything to unlock it, I should be able to just enhance and unlock everything. Instead, no, there's tedium in that I have to click here, I have to click level up, I have to click here, I have to click level up, click here, I have to click level up, click here, I have to click level up. It's a timely and cost and very annoying part of the game. It's almost like somebody at the board meeting was like, how can we annoy the players even more and make them stay in the game longer? And the answer was, let's make a clunky system. And then after they complain so many times about how long it takes to go through their EX tree to unlock everything, then we'll just sell them the the problem, or we'll just fix it and be like, hey guys, we've made the game better. It just should have been better, to say the least. So I think, as far as everything else is concerned, it's not bad. This week we had a dead week, and I'm kind of disappointed in it. Lately, over the last 2 weeks, they've actually been following the JP release to the letter, especially after they finally caught us up with Diablos. And after that was done, they've been following the trends, which was Omega Rob into near collaboration, and then near collaboration should have been immediately followed by Mont. However, we did not get Mont this week. All we got was a very lackluster week of EX Seymour and 3-star Tetra, which was very, Tetra was kind of to be expected for 3-star, because you have 2B. She's literally 2B's best Esper, hands down, just because everything about this Esper just screams, between the wind attack and the evasion, like 25 evasion on it, the wind attack up of 25%, and then you can put in accuracy on her to help her with fighting against other 2Bs, and lastly, you can kind of like do Earth Eater or do Wind Resistance, whatever, to help her against other QBs. Then that's one of the good things about this week. But other than that, like, I'm not too excited about EX Seymour. If I had more resources to actually EX him, then I would do it. But however, I am trying to save my my resources for when EX Mont drops, and when EX Mont drops, then he'll get all of the resources for fire. So unfortunately, Seymour gets to take a back seat. So this week we kind of got the wrong EX for fire unit, and I'm pretty sure next week we will most likely get Mont, uh, as I don't think they would push him back too much further than he already is, and I don't think they want to start getting far behind anymore than they had been before the Diablos raid started. However, that's going to be a close to the State of the Game number 5. Just a couple of things that I've been having on my mind since the last State of the Game, and since we've had the collaboration out. 9S is becoming one of my favorite units. I've been using him in class matches, and yeah, I think things might start looking up as we start to see me change their perspective on pities. And I'm really waiting to see what they do for Mont, and if they put him in the spring metal shop, because I've been sitting on my spring metals, and I'm waiting for if they put him in there. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this State of the Game, and I wish you all the best of luck on Mont if he does release next week. And yeah, have a great and wonderful day.